Hi, this is Linda Bermania, and I would like to present my mentor as well as my project, Improving Rehabilitation Services Patient Surveys. As you can see here in the picture, that is Candace Hurley. She's a great friend and mentor. A few things about Candace are she is a retired Army major. She did do several tours over in Iraq and Afghanistan. While she was in the Army, she was a senior human resource manager and information specialist. She was also the assistant deputy for recruiting and retention. She has done a lot of other various things throughout her years in the Army, but those are the ones that she probably is the most proud of. She did work at the Pentagon right before she retired, and she retired in May of 2015. Since that time, she has returned to college. She has received a Bachelor's of Science in Kinesiology and also a Master's of Education in Health Education. Candace is the type of person that she loves to spread and share her knowledge with anybody and everybody. She wants everybody to be the best person that they can be. She feels that one of her greatest attributes with going back to school is that she is now proficient, actually, as she states, highly proficient in Microsoft Office Suite, which includes the PowerPoint, Excel, and Word. She was an individual that grew up on education being taught with books and pen and paper and not computers. So with her time going back to school, she has definitely gained extensive knowledge in those areas and loves sharing that with friends, family, especially her children, to help them nowadays in school. She is also a substitute teacher within her local school district, and she loves giving back to her community and helping others in any way she can. Candace has a very strong religious background. She loves to do stop and drop visits to her friends, church members, things like that. If she knows that somebody's having a bad day, a bad week, whatever, she will possibly drop them off a note. She will pick up fresh cut flowers, just various things that she knows that they like, and she will take it to them and spend some time talking with them and making sure that they have her support and can call on her at any time. She has been wonderful in that aspect for myself. I was fortunate enough to meet Candace in 2010 out in Ivins, Utah at a fitness resort. And since that time, we have become very good friends, actually best friends. I always say that she is my sister from a different mother, period. I deeply feel that God had placed her in my life at that time to help me deal and continue to deal with the death of my sister. She has been a great support system through all of this, and she's been a great support and sounding board throughout my previous semesters with me returning to college, because she knows what it's like to do that. Next, I'd like to talk to you about my project. I want to actually, within the hospital that I work for, I want to take our current patient satisfaction surveys and redo the questions that are on the survey to help the patients better understand what we are asking and the information that we're trying to get back from them. Currently, the survey does not recognize that the survey is for rehabilitation. The questions are vague and could really relate to any department. And actually, within our department, we need to also break down the questions to, is it with our support staff, such as our receptionists, or is it actually with the therapists themselves? Because the questions aren't specific to our department, we're receiving inaccurate data from these surveys because we are getting surveys that are noting issues from the doctor's medical clinic or from the ultrasound department, which is in medical imaging. So it could be from X-ray, it could be from CT scanning or MRI testing, things like that. So if we get these questions to be more specific, it's going to give us better data to study how well our department is doing in providing the best patient care that we can, and that our customer, the patient, is satisfied with what they experienced by us. Again, the questions are vague in nature. The survey would be better if the area of the rehabilitation department that the question, this is what I'm talking about, the survey, if the question is more related to our receptionist, then we need to say, how could our receptionist have done better, or were you satisfied with how they were? For an example, we have, how much would you say the staff cared about you as a person? So with that question, is it the receptionist staff, or is it the therapist staff, or could there be a question for both of them, so that we know that first point of contact with our reception staff, is the patient feeling cared about, or do they feel like they're just another person, or as we say, a number? That would help us improve that first impression for the patient. We have a question that says, how would you rate the staff on the following? And then it breaks it down into A through F. Well, again, that could be, again, reception staff or the therapist. So with this being vague, we don't really necessarily know where is the patient maybe unsatisfied in. And then it says, one of the questions that I kind of laugh at is, it says, did you experience any significant delays during your visit? It's a legitimate question, but the response has to be, if yes. It shouldn't be, how well were you kept informed? To me, it should be, were you kept informed? Just some different responses that they could give. Here's a good one. During this visit, were you given any medicine that you had not taken before? Okay, in physical therapy, occupational therapy, and speech therapy, which makes up our rehabilitation department, at no time do we ever give medication to a patient. So that question in itself does not even relate to our department. Thus, when we get that question on our survey, it's already against us, because we don't do that. It's not in our realm of practice. So that gives you a little bit of idea of what I want to do, is change the questions within this survey to make it more precise to what the patient is actually experiencing within our department. This project, I sort of have a projected length of time from start to finish. I'm hoping for about 6 to 9 months, actually. As I was looking into this further and seeing what it all entailed, I have a feeling that there are going to be a need for more meetings and actually more departments to get involved, because I will need to not only have my department supervisor and director involved, it will also need to be somewhat related to our outlying outpatient clinics, to make sure that we are getting the most accurate questions for their areas also, because the hospital setting is inpatient and outpatient. But this survey should be geared only towards outpatient services. Some of our departments register the patients. Some of our therapy departments do not register patients. So that's another area that we need to look into as far as the questions go. So that's why it's going to take a little bit more. I'm also going to have to meet with possibly some administrative staff about the survey company that we currently go with. And I actually am also, on the recommendation of my mentor Candace, is looking at possible backup companies that could complete the survey for us, if the current one that we are using at the hospital will not make the changes to the questions. Period. One other idea that I had is actually possibly that our department take on this survey all by itself, by mailing it out and returning and collecting the data. However, having companies collect the data for us, we can then be put on a state, regional, and national database, and look how we're comparing to other hospitals our size. So that's why I'm hoping at the longest it'll take 9 months. But I'm hoping that this gives you a better understanding of what my project is, and I'm hoping that you see that Candace is going to be a great and excellent mentor for me, not only with her history in the Army and tasks that she completed there, but also with her bachelor's and master's degree related in the education and healthcare field. So developing questions and helping make them more specific. I think she's going to be a great help for me. So I am hoping that you have gotten a better understanding of what I'm planning to complete. And if you have any questions, please reach out to me. Thank you.